they also have a responsibility, and I want to hear what they have done with respect to this report. Governor?
Thank you, Chairman. We had filed the soft copy in good time. It's only the pictures which took time to take fresh, good pictures of the projects in issue. I plead with you, Chairman, and the committee to accept our written submissions. We have nothing to hide. The auditors can come and verify.
Governor, how possible is that when the auditor has not had the opportunity to review? Because if you had filed everything on time, the auditor had verified and done a brief to this committee, that is when you'd be talking about that nature of request.
The soft copy had been filed. It's only the pictures which were not attached.
I want to make this session brief because it's 3, but you are inviting us into territories that will lead you into problems. Members, was there a chair? Is any of the member a chair of the Public Accounts Committee? Because we usually invite the county assemblies when we are having these sittings. Are you the chair or just a member of the committee?
Oh, thank you very much, Chair. I'm a member. The chairman, Piak, is believed. So we are here on behalf of him. So I could introduce members who are here.
They've already introduced themselves, so just for purposes of time.
Thank you so much.
Article 2 to 9 requires the County Assembly and Parliament to consider these reports within 3 months. Has your committee considered this report for Nyamira County Executive?
Thank you, Honorable Chair. I want to confirm that our committee has not received the responses, and it's unfortunate that we have, in several occasions, asked for the same, but we were never supplied with the report.
Is the report before the Assembly? Has the report been tabled at the Assembly?
No.
The report has not been tabled at the Assembly?
It has not been tabled.
Auditor General, have you forwarded a copy of your report to Nyamira County Assembly? Because tabling is the responsibility of the clerk.
Well, I can confirm that all the reports of the Auditor General for the period 2023-2024 were tabled to Senate and all the 47 county assemblies.
So, Chair, I think the member is not understanding your question, because if you have requested for responses from the executive, then you are asking for responses for a report that you have. Or what would you be asking for responses for? What haven't you been given? Responses for which report?
Maybe I used has this report, the Auditor General's report, been brought to the County Assembly for you to start acting on it?
Yes, it was brought, but we cannot process the document minus the responses from the executive.
Have you invited the executive to respond or to appear before your committee?
Yeah, we have tried in several occasions, but they did not appear.
You invited them in writing?
Yeah, we have written them in several, even a reminder.
Governor, why are you not cooperating with the County Assembly, which is a primary oversight institution, which has greater capacity to deal with some of the things we are seeing here? I'm seeing 12 projects, buildings, markets, projects that we cannot resolve sitting in Nairobi. These are the guys who can resolve them. Why are your officers not cooperating with the County Assembly?
The summons, Chairman, were done by a clerk who had been declared illegal by the courts.
His name? What is the name of the clerk who did the summons?
Governor, how does that relate to your constitutional responsibility to account for resources allocated to you? 5.8 billion shillings is in this report. You have been called by the county assembly to explain. Now, how does the issue of the clerk come in?
It's a unique situation, Chairman.
Yes.
We have been having wars within the county assembly itself. They've been in court and out. So at one time, one of the clerks, one of the factions was using, had been declared illegal. So it was very hard for us to deal with one faction from the other until a court pronounced itself around, about, is it a week? Or
I'm getting lost, Governor. Isn't there a county assembly in Nyamira?
There is a county assembly, but
Doesn't the county assembly have the mandate to oversight the executive?
they have mandates.
When they call you to respond, why do you get into the legalist of who is in office and who is not? Isn't your responsibility supposed to be to respond to the request of the county assembly?
It's also my duty, Chairman, to obey the law.
What law are we talking about? Because the law I'm referring to is Article 229 of the Constitution of Kenya. And perhaps the governor might want to have a copy.
There were two.
And various public finance management principles in the Constitution, which requires you, having spent 5.8 billion Kenya shillings, to account to the people through the county assembly as a primary Governor, as a primary oversight institution. You see, Governor, this is why sometimes you have carried a huge delegation to Nairobi to discuss things that could have been discussed at the county assembly. I personally sometimes think that governors mnajiletea hizi shida. These are conversations that are best held in Keroka or the county assembly chambers. Now, it's emerging that you have refused to cooperate with the county assembly on the basis of, by the way, do you know who the clerk of the Senate is? The name of the clerk of the Senate?
I've heard of him, Nyangenya something.
Do you know whether he's validly in office?
I believe he's valid in office.
Do you even care to, it's neither here or there, isn't it?
Yes.
When he sends you a letter, you don't first go to the court to check whether he's valid in office.
No. This case of Nyamira is a bit unique. Chairman, I want you to listen.
Okay, please.
There are, up to now, two factions of the assembly, which are divided in the middle. So we have been getting summons from both. Until about a week ago, when the courts pronounced who is the legal clerk and the legal speaker, we were a bit divided. So it's a bit tricky. It's not that I can...
let me ask you, have you taken any law, any budget, any supplementary to the county assembly for consideration?
Yes.
During that time when the duration you're describing?
I took a supplementary to one faction which had been cleared by court to approve, and they did approve.
Am I the only one who is lost?
There were two functions.
You can take your supplementaries to the assembly, but you cannot receive invitations to the assembly.
The invitations, when the invitations were being made, there was confusion as who is the legal speaker, because there were two speakers. One called Nyamira, another one called Okero. So until the courts pronounced themselves, we were divided in between.
Members, this confusion seems infectious because now I am very confused. Anyone who has gotten the hang of it to help us here? Vice Chair?
The clerk wrote to the governor asking for responses to this audit report.